Welcome to the deep dive. We're always looking for those really smart examples of innovation, especially in learning
Hmm.
and how we connect. Today, we've got something pretty exciting, actually, a new initiative in language education.
Right.
We got to look at the intro to a brand new podcast, and it's just a brilliant little blueprint for intentional learning design.
Indeed. And what's really insightful, I think, is how just a short intro can tell you so much about the pedagogical philosophy behind it.
Right, the how and why of the teaching.
Exactly. And it shows such a clear grasp of what learners actually need, their challenges. So we'll be digging into the vision behind this Abdullah bin Salam Secondary School podcast,
Okay.
looking at its unique approach and pulling out some key takeaways for anyone interested in language learning or maybe, creating educational stuff themselves.
Yeah, definitely. So if you want a quick way to get up to speed on a really thoughtful way to teach English, maybe grab some tips for your own learning or your own projects. This deep dive is definitely for you. Let's unpack it.
Let's do it.
So first off, the person driving this. Our source material introduces Mr. Abdullah Al-Sultan. He's an English teacher at Abdullah bin Salam Secondary School.
Okay.
And he's not just teaching, he's the producer and host of this podcast. That immediately sets a certain tone, doesn't it? Teacher-led, student-focused.
It really does. And you have to ask, what does it signify when a teacher steps up like that? Takes on all those roles, creator, producer, host.
Yeah,
It almost always signals a really deep understanding of the specific hurdles and opportunities right there in their own classroom.
like they're seeing a problem firsthand.
Exactly. Mr. Al Sultan isn't just, delivering a pre-made curriculum. He's actively building something new outside the usual class time.
Mm.
It's pretty clear he saw a specific need among his students.
A gap, maybe.
A gap, yeah, a deeply felt need. And instead of waiting around, he's crafting a solution himself, tailored just for them,
Mm.
their context, their learning style, that kind of grassroots approach.
Mm.
It's invaluable. It makes the content inherently relevant.
Yeah.
For anyone creating content, the lesson is start with your audience's real problems.
Right, build from the ground up. And okay, this next part is where it gets really interesting, I think. Their actual strategy.
The method.
Yeah. They explicitly say, in this podcast, we mix Arabic and English to make learning simple, fun, and useful. That intentional blend,
Mm.
mixing languages like that.
It's a really smart move, pedagogically speaking.
Why is that?
Well, if you think about language learning broadly, using the native language alongside the target language, especially for, say, secondary students,
Okay.
it can be incredibly effective. It reduces what we call cognitive load.
The mental effort needed.
Exactly. It taps into what they already know, their Arabic foundation.
Mhm.
It gives them an anchor, makes it less scary, makes new stuff easier to process.
Like building a bridge.
Precisely. It's a cognitive pathway, connecting new English ideas to familiar Arabic ones.
Yeah.
Now, there is a potential downside people talk about, relying too much on the native language. You don't want learners just staying on that bridge indefinitely, right? You need to eventually encourage more English-only use.
So it needs careful planning, scaffolding.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A gradual shift. But for getting started, making it accessible, especially for this age group, it's a very strong approach. And the focus on simple, fun, and useful,
Yeah, that jumps out too.
that hits engagement and practical application right on the head. Secondary kids need to see the point, and enjoy it, or they just tune out.
Absolutely. I remember that feeling. Okay, so beyond the how, let's talk about the what. What topics are they covering?
Right, the content itself.
Our sources mention specifics, and they seem so practical. Things like the difference between formal and informal English,
Mm-hmm.
sown pronunciation errors,
Another big one.
and this is key, I think, how to use language with confidence in school and life.
See, that's what I'd call maybe pain point pedagogy.
Pain point pedagogy, explain that.
Well, for anyone creating educational content, the real power comes from understanding your audience's specific struggles,
Okay.
like the anxiety of using the wrong tone, or being afraid you'll mispronounce something, or just feeling unsure in a real conversation. If you start there,
It's solving a real problem for them.
exactly, learning becomes a tool for empowerment, not just an abstract exercise. Take formal versus informal English. That's not just grammar, is it?
No, it's about social situations sounding right.
Right. Knowing how to email a teacher versus texting a friend, huge difference. And tackling pronunciation errors directly, that hits a major barrier to confidence. I mean, we've all heard interesting attempts at certain sounds.
Huh. Yes, the sound comes to mind.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So giving students a clear, kind way to work on that is incredibly valuable.
Mm.
And then wrapping it all up with using language with confidence in school and life.
It gives it a real purpose.
A very clear, motivating purpose. It's not just about passing a test. It's about personal growth, future opportunities. Imagine a student feeling good about giving a presentation or handling a job interview.
That's tangible impact.
That's the real-world impact.
Yeah.
Big difference.
It really shifts the focus. And then the intro wraps up with this really direct call to action. It says, so if you want to improve your English and enjoy educational content that suits the secondary stage, this podcast is for you.
Super clear.
Yeah, that direct address. For you.
It feels very welcoming, doesn't it?
It does. It creates an immediate connection. It's not just a broadcast announcement. It's like a personal invitation.
Like we made this specifically with you in mind.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Forget those boring textbooks. This understands your struggles. And while the target is secondary students, that core message, improve your English, engaging content resonates wider, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually a pretty strong marketing hook for an educational thing. Makes the listener feel seen before they even hit play. It's a psychological win. So for creators, that clear value proposition delivered personally.
Very effective for building that initial audience connection.
Makes sense. Okay, and finally, the practical bits, the nuts and bolts.
Right.
It says the podcast is coming soon on all platforms. Good for access.
Essential these days. You have to meet learners where they are, phones, computers, whatever. Reduces the friction.
And then it mentions the producer again. Produced by Mr. Abdullah Al Sultan, English teacher at Abdullah bin Salam Secondary School.
And that repetition isn't accidental, I don't think. It just keeps reinforcing that grassroots, teacher-driven feel.
Coming straight from the classroom.
Exactly. And projects like that, born from daily interaction with students, often end up being way more relevant and, frankly, impactful than something designed in a corporate office somewhere.
Carries a weight of real experience.
Deep understanding of the end user, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so pulling it all together, what's the big picture here from this intro? It reveals a really well thought through educational strategy, doesn't it? Mr. Al Sultan's podcast seems designed to make English learning feel approachable, genuinely effective, and super relevant. Using that bilingual approach, mixing Arabic and English, focusing on those high-impact skills like formal, informal, pronunciation.
And confidence. Don't forget confidence.
Right, and building that overall confidence, it's quite holistic.
It really is. We're seeing a strong example here of tailoring content perfectly for a specific audience.
Yeah.
Addressing their actual pain points with, clarity, but also enthusiasm.
Yeah, that comes through.
This whole initiative, it feels like it's not just about teaching grammar rules. It's about building confidence, enabling real communication, and maybe even bridging some cultural understanding through language.
Empowering the learner.
That's the word, empowering.
Yeah.
For any content creator listening, the takeaway is clear. Start with empathy, design a clear path, and show the immediate benefits.
Definitely. And for you listening, whether you're learning a language yourself or you're an educator looking for fresh ideas or just curious about where education is heading, it's just a fantastic reminder that really innovative, powerful approaches can come straight out of the classroom environment.
From passionate teachers.
Exactly. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other amazing learning tools are being cooked up right now by dedicated teachers driven by their students' needs, just waiting for us to notice them? Maybe the next big thing in education isn't hatching in some flashy tech startup, but quietly in a secondary school classroom somewhere, built with real understanding.
A provocative thought to end on. That genuine connection might be the most powerful tool of all.
Indeed. Thanks for diving deep with us today. We really hope you found some valuable insights to take away.